more to say about boots. I'm hoping we'll be able to recap what's rolling by on the chat because we want to know where people are buying things from. And
Yep,
put
I'm
them-
just, I'll just say out loud, I said it in the chat, I'm making a wish list and a suggestions list. So if you have something you're looking for or you have something to recommend, drop it in and I will get everything sorted out.
Good, that'll give me a good reason to do a chat transcript this time. Boots, we think, although we could have put them in priority order, we started with the pants first. Boots are so important.
The
and
most important.
It bothers me a lot to see people gardening in tennis shoes and using a shovel in
Or
tennis shoes.
even Crocs,
Yeah. I think this
Protect your
is
feet.
as close as Steve can get to his boot currently. We're strong advocates for Red Wing boots. I've been wearing them for 40 years. They last me better than any other boot and fit me better than any other boot. But that's Steve's boot. Steve, they've changed my boot again.
They did it.
Yeah, so they have this one, but it doesn't have the stitching along the
No.
bottom. This one that has the cushion at the back of
This
when you're
part.
bending, yeah.
Yeah. The cushion is really helpful with the low ankle
Yeah.
boot.
What I have found with my boots, because there's as close as we got to my boot now, and they don't have the cushion on it
Yep.
anymore. I also don't like a tread. You see the tread on this one? For hiking boots, yes, you want to have a tread. In a garden, you do not want to be picking up any more stuff in the tread of your boots than you need to, and you're spending more time on your knees, so my toes wear out. I've begun buying toe protection material from the store that I can put on there that gives an extra layer that has to wear through first. But these boots are so important. The something got moved here, Steve. There we go. The heel from kicking the shovel will wear out, and that's your foot. If it's not the boot taking that impact, it's your foot taking that
And
impact.
these boots have a steel shank that go right there so that when you're hitting, it's taking some of that pressure off.
Yeah.
You really abuse your boots.
I also get tears in the side. Point out this one's here, Stephen.
Yep.
Those tears are not tears. That's a rip where my shovel or weeding tool missed. And that would have been stitches in my foot if not.
Yeah.
So we can't tell you strongly enough that we should be wearing boots out there. And I like to have some that give some support to the ankle.
Yeah.
Can I jump in really quickly? Nancy's asking about why not with a metal toe?
The steel toe, one thing, it makes your foot colder if you're out there.
It also prevents some bending. I had steel toe boots one time, and they are Red Wing makes toe protection boots without steel in them. They also have steel toed boots, but what you want is you want protection. You want something thick so you're not going to drop a rock on your foot. But you don't want, when you bend down or you're on your knees, to have your foot unable to flex fully.
Yeah. And if you drop something on a steel toe that's heavy enough, it can bend the toe. It can bend the steel.
Yeah.
It can.
And I've never worn these kinds of things, clogs and the garden shoes, but it is nice to be able to slip something quickly on and run out.
For things like mowing or something like that, yeah. But if you're using tools,
I thought one year
I was going to say I use the kitchen version of Crocs, so like the professional kitchen Crocs, and they've actually been I've been impressed. I've been impressed with the kitchen Crocs, not just any old Crocs. They're expensive, but they're the stuff that the chefs wear.
Well, then the expense knocked me on my butt. About 2 years ago, I said, I'm going to get some Crocs. The kids wear, that's good. I can slip those on quickly. Because I thought, well, they're plastic shoes. I didn't expect $40-50 for Crocs. But
for just slip-ons, go to Meijer and get the knockoff ones, I would say.
Okay. All right, gloves. Maybe more important even than boots. Our criteria for gloves is they allow us to do things. They have to be closed at the wrist. If they have a cuff that's wide, it's going to end up with dirt in them, and the dirt's going to work its way down into your fingers. And they must allow air to circulate in, especially around your fingertips and your fingernails. I have a whole drawer full of my gloves, and I use them.
Different gloves for different purposes.
Right. In the summertime, I'm fine with the gloves that have the little nitrile tips on them, but I will warn you, those and the heavy rubber type gloves, the orange ones back there, do not go out and garden in those for, well, I'm gonna say 8 hours at a stretch and think that there are other people out there that are like me.
Mhm.
You go out there and you just stay out there. You're going to end up with fungus infections in your fingernails if you work with something that doesn't let your fingers breathe. These, well, we'll get into the types of gloves later. One of the ones that what I'm wearing right now, and I wear a lot during the year. Okay, see you later.
Yeah.
What I wear a lot during the year are these combination cloth and suede cloth gloves that you can buy at Home Depots and Lowe's and online if you want. They have a Velcro closing around the wrist, which is important to me. I started out with the women's garden gloves from Women's Work, and I still like Women's Work. It's on your list. They have a Velcro closer too. They fit your hand very well. They're reinforced. They last well. They let your fingers breathe. So do the work gloves and there are men's and women's sizes from West Country Company, but they're expensive. And I go through gloves pretty rapidly. It used to be the right hand wore out all the time, and now my left hand wears out all the time because I've been teaching my left hand to work. So I did start switching, so I can get 3 pairs for $24.50 from Lee Valley of that same glove, that firm grip glove with the Velcro closing. Or I can buy a whole group. These are from Lee Valley, a whole group of very lightweight ones that I can wear and throw away that I'm not going to wear all day long, but just when I'm doing something that's wet or slimy. These are from Home Depot and are very similar, but a little bit heavier glove and definitely more expensive. I don't know about the rest of you, but these things, these pads that are sewn into the fingers to allow you to use your phone. I do not use my phone when I'm out working in the garden. I will not with gloves on. I have to stop, take my gloves off because my gloves are just as dirty as anything else would be, and I don't want to touch the phone like that. But from Home Depot, these are ones that are my kind of my go-to gloves. And when I wash them, and I do throw them in the wash, I don't care whether they say washable, whether they tell me that or not, I'm going to wash them. I first take my gloves and put them on my hands, put them in a bucket of water, and scrub my hands back and forth in order to get as much dirt off as I can. And then I take the Velcro and I Velcro them together so that I end up with the pairs coming out together when they come out of the wash. Lowe's, I've found, does not have as good a group of gloves, and they like to think that garden gloves have to have pretty patterns on them and not be sewn as well together. So I'm generally buying in the tool section, not in the women's glove section. These are the gloves to watch out for. Yes, it's good to be able to deal with things and not get your hands muddy if you're in the mud or in the wet, but don't wear those all day long. There's no place for the finger to breathe, and you will end up with problems, which you don't want to do. And avoid, if you can, the cuffs like this. That's going to end up getting dirt in there, and that dirt will end up down in the glove and be almost impossible to get out.
I'll, while we're on gloves at the moment, Nancy is asking if there's any way to keep dirt out from under the fingernails. And when you say you wash them, you just throw them washer and dryer. There's no special thing that you do
That's
with
right. I
washing
throw them in the washer and dryer. If the gloves that I've shown you here, all of them, including these touch gloves, I throw them in the washer and I throw them in the dryer. When they wear out, they wear out. But I don't get dirt under my fingernails when I'm wearing gloves if the gloves have a closer around the wrist. As they wear out and I start wearing out the tips of the fingers first, I'll come in, take my gloves off and find that I've got 2 fingers that are dirty and realize, oh, there must be a little hole in the tips and it's time to throw those out. In the summertime, I do like to use these nitro coated gloves. I bought my first pair that I fell in love with, and they were called sun gloves at the time, when I was in Bellingham, Washington at a botanical garden. I have tried to find those exact same gloves again and haven't found them, but I have found that Bellingham Glove Company was purchased by another company later on and is now selling through Full Source. They don't seem to be quite the same, but they're worth getting. But to get 12 pairs for $68, if they only last for 1 season, that's okay. My hands are worth more than that. So I have not ordered from Full Source yet. I've only just found them, but I'll be buying from them rather than buying a pair at a time for $8. Woman's Work is on your note-taking guide. I like Women's Work. They fit very well. They're not inexpensive. Some of where you'll find them locally is you'll find them at garden centers. This one is at our Bordines. Ray Wiegand's near us, uses the West Country, but they also have all of these gloves that they don't tell you that that's not a good thing to do to enclose your fingers all the way. So Woman's Work is the name of the company, and they do have men's sizes too, but they started out with what for me was confusing. They had small, medium, and large, long. I said, what does long mean? It means if you have long fingernails, and I've never had long fingernails, so I don't know who wears gardening gloves, who wears long fingernails, but there you go. Okay, and I'm likely to take a look at dovetail workwear. They tell me that it fits better for women's sizes. This same company that Barb recommended to me, also, this is an article. This sends you to an article that lists several places where this professional gardening group gets their clothes. And they recommend Grundens for rain gear. They live in Washington State where it rains a lot, so they said it's very important for us. And they had things like a critique of Carhartts. We tried Carhartts pants, and I like Carhartts. For us, it's a local company, and we'd like to support Carhartts. But the material, which will last you a lifetime, takes a year to break in to where it doesn't feel stiff. Such is the way things go. This is one of the companies that they recommended. I'm not really into putting things into holsters because I bend over too much and things fall out of the holsters. But if you like to do that, those are pretty snazzy looking. Okay, what comments and questions can we summarize or move on to tools?
So Judy and I didn't know a good place to break in on this. Judy's curious if you use clothing treated with permethrin bug repellent.
I do not. I put bug repellent on. I hate the smell of it. I don't like, but ticks have become a problem. It's too many times for over 40 years time. I never saw a tick on me anyway until 3-4 years ago. I said, oh my gosh, I've got a tick on me. And since then it's been 3 or 4 times. So I think the tick population has been growing, probably because so many people are spraying regularly. And what we've got is a whole bunch of ticks resistant to the things that are being sprayed.
And climate change also means that more ticks are lasting through the winter and not getting as the population's not getting as killed off over the winter. That's what our vet says anyway about increasing dogs with ticks.
Yeah.
We did get some hacks from Connie, Kristen, and Donna about how to keep the dirt out from under your nails. Before you put your gloves on, you scrape your fingernails across a bar of soap and then put the gloves on. Someone said that Donna doesn't like having soap, something under your fingernails, but it does make the washing a lot easier. So there's a hack there. We have for wish list, Michelle is looking for a hand garden fork with a curved handle that's more ergonomic. She said she bought one on QVC decades ago and haven't been able to replace it. Gina says that Radius garden tools have padded curved ergonomic handles, but we're not sure if they have a hand fork. So if anyone knows of hand garden forks that's sort of ergonomic curved handle, that's on the wish list. Miller is looking for boots that last more than one season. I know Janet and Steve can recommend Red Wing because their boots definitely last more than one season, but
You're
any
talking
boot
$300 for a pair of boots now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, and that's true for gardening boots, for work boots, for hiking boots. Everything feels disposable now. So those are the 2 main things on our wish list, and then the suggestion list will just have Janet send out a chat transcript with suggestions, but keep those coming in.
Oh, that's great. That's what we need. Hello there.
Oh, Dana's asking, could you go back to the long gloves, the pictures? She's wondering if they might fit her. Apparently she has long fingers. A lot of gloves don't fit me.
That
Dana,
would be
I'm the opposite. I have short fingers. Almost all gloves flop at the end on me.
Yeah, you feel like Mickey Mouse. Woman's Work had the long sizes. I haven't purchased online from them for a little while, so I'm not sure that it's exactly the same. But they had long was specified in each of their sizes, so it was small long, and medium long, and large long, or regular. So I would try there.